Heyo, what's up, everybody? What am I doing with my hands? Heyo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back in to my little creative endeavor here that I affectionately call my cosplay show. Episode 7. This one not directed by JJ, and certainly Disney can't own this, okay? You know, they can own everything else, all of our entertainment, but they can't own human beings, at least not yet. If they want to put me in Indy 5, then we'll talk. So, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I've been kind of waiting and gathering things so that this episode could be something special, meaty, juicy, delicious. I have some shout outs and some thank yous to hand out. I have some stories to share. I've got some new items that have come in that I'd like to show you. It's been a good month for me, and I want this to be a feel good episode, and I want to share that excitement that I've had with you. So hopefully, you will appreciate this, you'll enjoy it, and we'll have a good time. Ooh, new transitions. Nice. You like that? You like that, Kirk Cousins? You like that? You know, something tells me that if you were watching this, you may not be a big sports fan, and that reference just flew right over your head. And that's okay. You know, much like Kirk Cousins' accuracy, it flew right over your head. My apologies to any Vikings fans out there. Anyway, moving on. Let's discuss this, okay? The elephant in the room. This logo emblazoned upon my chest. Yeah, I got some shirts made. You know, I went out, had various designs. I found somebody locally. I shop local for this. Got a couple made, prototypes, and I thought I would sit here and wear one today on camera so you could tell me what you thought. Do you have any interest in owning a shirt? Do you think I should sell merchandise for this show? Merch, as the kids call it, merch. You know, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. You know, if there's enough interest, I might try to sell some. And I would certainly appreciate if you wore it out. People would ask, hey, what's this about? You can say, oh, it's just some schmuck who does a YouTube show. You can check it out. You know, you don't have to. It's whatever. But, you know, I'd love you even more if you did. If you're already watching, I love you. But if you want to wear one of my shirts out in public, I mean, you know, the search is over. Okay? So, anyway, let me know, and we'll go from there. So, now I thought I would share some of the really exciting things that have been happening to me as it pertains to cosplay since our last meeting, since the last video that I did about a month and a half ago. And it turns out that people really like Batman. And I have been seeing a ton of love and appreciation and support for my Navy build. By far and away, the most viewed episode was the reveal of that suit to the world. And it's something I'm very proud of now. And I'm all in. I'm all in on Batman. I still obviously love the other characters, but it's really cool to see the attention that Batman has been getting, especially my build. Obviously, when I began that endeavor, I wanted to look like an action figure, or that I was stripped from one of the panels of a comic, you know, Jim Lee Hush comic. And you are showing me that that is what I've done. And it's been fulfilling, gratifying. So, again, I thank you for all of those wonderful words that you've been saying. Because to me, there is no greater compliment than to tell me I look like an action figure, because that makes my inner 12-year-old very happy. So, because of the quarantine, it's been hard, obviously, to gather. Part of my intention upon building that Navy Batsuit was to go to conventions with it, walk around the convention floor, and let people take pictures that I could then find and share on my various social media platforms. That obviously has not happened. So I did the next best thing, and when certain restrictions began to go away here in my state, I went home. I took the 2 hour drive down the interstate. I went back home, and I asked my dear mother to take my picture. And I'm not ashamed to admit that, because if there's anybody you can count on, it's your mom. I come from a farming community. We have some acreage out there. I took a hay wagon that I'm very familiar with, and I parked that sumbitch out in the middle of a field, and I jumped up on top of it, and she took my picture. She took some great pictures, and she's not a professional photographer. I did some editing to those, and I was able to get those posted, and out of that came an overwhelming amount of support and appreciation. Again, I thank you all for that. It's been, really exciting time for me in the world of cosplay, and seeing that makes it all worth it. Funny story, we're out there, and, a small town, people get nosy, and, we live kind of on a flat stretch near the highway, and a pickup goes screaming down the highway, but then almost comes to a stop, because I can hear them hit the rumble strips. They slow down, they go down the road, they come back, they pull off, and they're staring, because I'm up high, like I can be seen from the highway, again, flat farmland. And so they come in totally enamored with seeing Batman out in the middle of nowhere, essentially. Again, farming community, very small population. So that was entertaining, and kind of a neat story I thought I would share. And of course, based on the success of those photos, I went out a week later and I asked Mom again, hey, let's do some with Indy. Because again, Indy's my boy. Indiana Jones. I wanted to get some updated photos there. And I was really pleased with how those turned out. So, who knows? We're going to have the mom and son duo, cosplayer, photographer. Could become a real feel-good story in the cosplay community, maybe. I don't know. And how about Indy 5? I guess it's happening. Although, do I really want it to happen? God. I mean, I love Harrison Ford. He is an icon. He's my favorite actor. He is Indy. He is Han Solo. He adapted those characters to fit his personality. Nobody else can pull those off. But Indy 5, I feel like they've waffled on it. And now James Mangold is going to direct, which is an exciting piece of news. Hopefully he can do something with it. He's dealt with Old Man Logan. And I think he could potentially make a great story out of Old Man Indy. Again, preferably I would like to see a younger Indiana Jones, not a younger actor. Don't get me started on that. But I'm saying, something animated with Harrison Ford coming back to voice the character maybe, and then putting that character back into something that we're familiar with, the 1930s against the Nazis, something like that, because at his age, I don't know where you set this movie now. I mean, is it Vietnam era? You know, like what are we looking at here? And furthermore, like what is he going to go after? I just so many questions. And let's keep it on the topic of movies, because as I'm sure you've all heard, we're going to get the Snyder Cut. And I'd like to know how you feel about that. You know, I'm a DC fanboy. You know, obviously Superman, Batman, those are my boys. So, you know, it's cool, you know, that all the petitioning that fans did worked, and we're going to get something that we worked hard to get. And we're going to see one man's vision finally realized, because that was all handled so poorly. It really was. And you know, we'll see. I joke that the Snyderverse and his vision has been just extremely dark. You know, and I've been joking that his cut of Justice League will be so dark you can't even see it. But, you know, the Cavalnator is back on board. Henry Cavill, sexy guy. And, you know, I still wish that we could see him as a bright and hopeful Superman. I think deep down he would admit, if you got him drunk one night, I guarantee he would admit the same thing, that, you know, he could strap on a pair of red trunks and be a Christopher Reeve-like Superman instead of this drab and dreary guy. I don't know if we'll ever see that. I know that he's back on board and he'll be making some cameos in some movies, and maybe we'll get a sequel to Man of Steel. I'd prefer they just retconned all that, kind of started over, and let him, you know, be the inspiring figure that he's supposed to be, instead of this, you know, gloom and doom. I mean, that's Batman. That works. Snyder works for Batfleck, but not Superman. Just one man's opinion, okay? Don't shoot me. So I have made some new purchases recently. Not many, but I've got some exciting things in the works. You know, I've got another Batsuit coming, and that'll be a big reveal down the road. It's in the early stages. I am collaborating with someone who's very skilled at making suits, especially Batsuits, and it's going to be really kick-ass. And it's going to be an exciting moment when I get to share that with you also. This belt right here is a new acquisition. Again, purchased it off of the Facebook groups. Tremendous resource. I have said that before. I will say it again. This is more of a comic accurate belt made by Dale Matheson. He sold this to me at a good rate. And I like it because it comes with these bronzed canisters that this belt over here is lacking. Be honest and say that this belt is still my preferred belt, because I think it looks better with the deep navy. The yellow is a bit too bright on this belt, but still a lot of similarities obviously between these two. Heavy buckle on the front that's more Hush accurate, has the Hush logo, as opposed to this one, which has the Arkham bat on the buckle. But again, options are good, and because, like I said, I'm all in with Batman, if I can find good deals on things, I will pick it up and differentiate, mix and match, because that, again, is what makes cosplay fun for me. And if there's anything else out there, if you have anything and you're a Batman fan, you want to sell it, I might be interested. I went back to Will and I asked Will to make me a cape, because I was not pleased that the pleather cape, which I did not reveal in the Batsuit video, because at that point I already had intentions to replace it, so I didn't want to go that route and show it off if I knew I wasn't going to be using it. And I asked Will to make me a new one, and he did, and it was again to my specifications. I asked for it to be enormous. I wanted it to almost drag the ground. Uh, he added an extra panel in the cape, so it's very light. It's extremely comfortable suede fabric. I mean, full disclosure, I legitimately fell asleep in that cape one of the first few nights I had it, and it was it's just a dream to be wrapped in. It feels so good, and I thought it looked tremendous, especially out during the photo shoot with my mom. The way the wind took it, grabbed it, and made it flow, very, very light, and doesn't choke you, not heavy, just comfortable to wear, which again is very important in cosplay, because if you're, agonizing over this, I would say you're not doing it right, but that's just my opinion. I mentioned at the tail end of my last episode that I joined TikTok, and that was something that, out of boredom during quarantine, I thought I would see what the fuss was about, and now it is a straight up addiction, and I need help. It's been enlightening to see what the youngins out there find entertaining, but it's also extremely baffling. Also, if somebody could tell me what a simp is, I'd appreciate it. What the hell is that? What does that mean? I'm using it as a platform, though, that, it connects so well with both YouTube and Instagram. And, you might be watching this because you came from there, and that's great. Welcome. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. What is a simp? I'm sure it's something lewd or stupid. I think of like simpleton. And if you're calling me a simpleton, you would be correct. I've been putting videos up, wearing the cowl, and doing my best Batman voice. Because I'm serious about trying to give off that vibe. Not just have the look, but the sound. I am vengeance. I am the night. It's supposed to be a full embodiment of the character. That is how committed I am to Batman. Not so committed to TikTok. Please send help. That's really all I've got for now. I did buy some other things during this quarantine, as I'm sure we all have. Things that we did not need, but alas, here they are. Out of boredom, here they are. I did buy a gray fedora, which was something I have been wanting for a while. That came in from the Hattery, the Kubra in Australia. Took a while to get here because of what was going on in the world. Lots of delays in shipping and so forth. But very nice, sturdy. That is the Federation 4 Deluxe in a nice gray color. And I intend to use that for a potential Darkwing Duck cosplay. And you're asking yourself, how can you cosplay a duck? Well, my intention is to turn a duck into a man. So it should be fun. I've got some ideas cooking around in the old noggin. I bought some round frame non-prescription glasses that actually just came in very recently, and the intent there was, a stylish, but also Professor Jones trying to achieve Indy as the professor look. But I tried them on, and now I look more like Eric Potter, and that was not the desired look. So I'm kind of torn about that. Still very nice glasses. Luckily, I didn't spend very much for those. I'll wear them from time to time, but not big on Harry Potter. Don't hurt me. But yeah, that's all I've got for now. And I thank you so much for tuning in to my cosplay show. Again, let me know below what you think of the shirts. I've got some other designs. If you're interested, maybe I'll get some merch posted up here and I can get you a shirt. Otherwise, take care. These are pretty uneasy, uncertain times. First we had COVID, and now we've got racism. So, which I guess we've kind of always had, but now it goes from one extreme to another extreme. So pretty rough times. But everybody out there, just know that I care about you, and I thank you for watching this, and I will see you next time. Okay? And I will put this pin away because I gesture with it way too much. Nothing wrong with a little shameless self-promotion. I think we've all seen Wayne's World here. I'm not going to sell out to some big corporate sponsor like Doritos or Reebok, Pizza Hut, Nuprin. Little, yellow, different.